You just got to go for an it.
Hello, and welcome to Author's Note.
Don't listen.
My name is Cass.
And my name is Tease.
And my name is Jalla.
And
We're
my
pulling
name
a fun
is
little
Cass.
Christmas prank. No.
No.
You know
my
what?
name is
Actually, if you want to
Eskel.
assume my identity, go ahead, take it. You can have it.
Okay.
We're back
Hi,
with Jalla.
Welcome to Author's Note. My name is Cass.
And my name is Cass.
And my name is Cass.
Wow.
Split amongst the three of us.
We have become three different entities.
We are all Cass.
We are all Cass.
What part of Cass goes to my job, though?
The really tired part.
You and me both.
Yeah. Hi, welcome to a very fun final episode of the year. Wow, I don't like that. I really don't like that. That's scary. It's the final episode of the year. So it is our final episode of the year, as scary and terrifying as that is, and we have a fun little holiday special for you. You can find a link in the show notes down below to go and download and watch a commentary track for Rapsittie Street Kids, Believe in Santa, which Jalla has arrived today to tell us all about.
Listen, it's my
Jalla.
favorite fucking movie of all time. I have seen it.
Yeah, but
I've seen it nearly 20 times now, and that's not an exaggeration, because I keep showing it to people, and I end up watching the whole thing over again.
I mean, it's not the longest movie in the world. It's only 45 minutes, yeah.
Yeah. It's a nice, good watch.
You think so?
Yeah, it's my favorite holiday movie.
Yeah, can you... I think we're just going to skip the formalities today of, like, talking about things we've watched or read. We're all a little bit loopy, I think.
Yeah.
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 So, we just watched this movie. Jalla, can you tell us a little bit about it?
Sure.
Yeah, what is this movie, for anyone who doesn't want to watch?
Okay, first of all, why would you not want to watch this? But also, so Rapsittie Street Kids was a short movie that aired on TV once. Literally one time in 2002. And afterwards, it was considered to be lost media. And the only hints that it had ever existed were a couple of message board posts that were pretty much just confused people asking what the fuck they just saw on TV.
No.
Tease, can you describe what the story we just watched was?
A child named Ricky has a dead mother and her soul is trapped in a teddy bear. And he tries to give his crush his dead mother's soul in the teddy bear, but she throws it in the dumpster. And then he asks Santa for a video box, and his grandma is there, and then the crush feels bad and attempts to find it in the dumpster, and then they manage to find it in the dumpster, and then they give him back the bear, and then she gets to keep the bear, and then he also gets the video box from the girl, and everybody believes in Santa again.
Yeah, it's a really touching universal message.
Yeah.
For everyone who believes in Santa, which, as we know, is everyone, not just Christian children.
Yes.
Everyone.
Santa does exist. He is real. And he will put a pony in your backyard and tie it to a tree.
Thank God.
Oh, that terrifying little pony. That terrifying little
Scary
pony.
little
That pony looks like my cat May May.
That pony looks like a chocolate Easter rabbit. Like the eyes, the candy eyes.
Yeah, but specifically one that has been, like, hit by a blow dryer and left to melt for a little bit.
God.
We've all watched that short film. It's a very important short film.
Yes.
Yeah. I think this movie broke me. I've seen it before, but I feel like it broke me to some degree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why is that?
It's bad to look at.
I think it's beautiful to look at.
Well, I'm sorry that you have an art degree, but I don't.
Yeah, only really, really...
Only people who went to art school can appreciate
Yeah,
this.
it's a little too highbrow for me, but oh boy, oh yikes.
So it's considered lost media, and people are talking about it on message boards. But where does our story go from there, Jalla?
So, it ended up resurfacing at around 2015, over
it
10 years after it was after it first aired. It ended up on YouTube. There's like a whole story behind how the guy got a hold of it, too.
Tell us about it. That's like my favorite part about lost media being discovered.
Yeah. So, Twitter user Dykate, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. He is they are the owner of the Lost Media Wiki, and actually reached out to the producer Colin Slater to try and get a copy of it. And Colin Slater's like kind of a shady character. He's got like a lot of stuff.
I can't possibly imagine how Colin Slater could be a shady individual when we just watched what is perhaps the most abysmal example of 3D animation that aired on television.
I don't know what you're talking
about. Literally, unironically star-studded cast.
I don't know what you're talking about. This isn't shady at all. Like, he seems like a very legitimate producer and businessman, and I would love to work with him one day. Colin Slater, if you're listening to this, reach out to me, message me on Twitter. I'd love to collab one day. So Colin Slater ended up responding to this guy and telling them that his copy of the movie was stored on something called a digibeta tape, which is a format intended only for TV broadcast. And he was like, hey guy. Okay, I'm turning into fucking, what's his name? Drew Gooden. And he was like, it costs $125 crisp American dollars to transfer this to a digital format at a lab. And somehow Colin accidentally got it transferred twice, which cost him $250. And he was like, hey, Dykate, can you pay for both copies, please? And Dykate was like, yeah, okay, I guess. And after he forked over
it's lost media.
Yeah, and like after this dude forked over the money, Colin was like, see ya. He just like...
Not to make everything about Final Fantasy XIV, but there is someone in Charlian whose job it is to deal with this kind of shit, and I think that's beautiful.
Yeah, we love that. And then it pretty much took a lot of hounding on Dykate's part, but they finally ended up getting Colin to hand over a copy of the movie, and so that's how it ended up on YouTube after 10 slutty years.
Which is where you found it, yes?
Yes, I stumbled upon it one beautiful night when I was having a movie night with one of my other friends.
What was that initial experience like for you, Jalla?
My life, ever since discovering Rapsittie Street Kids, has been split into a before and an after. It was a religious experience. My life will be forever changed by Ricky.
A-R-S-K.
Yes.
Can we talk about the cast? Can we?
Yeah, tell me a little bit about the cast, because those names were more familiar to you in some ways than they were to me.
Let me pull up a cast list really quick. So some big names you may be familiar with are Mark Hamill,
Mr. Luke Skywalker himself.
Nancy Cartwright, who is responsible for Chucky Finster, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, is she? Chucky
and
Finster?
Bart Simpson.
Oh my god.
And a notably known Scientologist as well.
Yes, we will get into that.
That's
we'll get into that.
When we were watching it, like you'll hear me going, "Is that Cree Summer?" You know what it is? I think I was thinking about just other. I knew it wasn't Cree Summer, but I don't know. That's why Paige O'Hara is Nicole. Yeah, I don't know why I thought that was Cree Summer. That was my fault. But Nancy Cartwright, who's Chucky, and Bart Simpson, and Paige O'Hara, who voices Belle from Beauty and the Beast. Jodie Benson, who's Ariel, the Little Mermaid. Who else? Who are these people? Because chances are I probably know these people too.
Yeah, there's
Ray
one more.
Delisle's there. Azula herself.
Yep. And our boy Ricky is Walter Emmanuel Jones. Not a lot of people know him, but he was actually the Black Power Ranger
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So this cast is really ooh.
And
I say this with all the love in my heart for bad art, but the production value on this is atrocious. It's absolutely terrible, right? So
yeah.
you start off the movie with like this 3D clip art of a snowflake. The pacing is so weird, and I mean that both in like the overall narrative sense, but also in the fact that it literally looks like they slowed frames and just animated very oddly to account for having extra time that they needed to fill and pad out. There's only like one piece of concept art that we have, right? But
Yeah.
the 3D modeling itself it's not good. It's not good. It's not functional. And as Tease had to look up while we were watching this, Shrek had come out, what is it, a year or two earlier.
A year earlier.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
something that has to do with that too is that while they were making this film, Colin Slater actually wanted to try and capitalize on this like newfound 3D movie boom, in a sense, and he was like, "Oh, I want to try that too because so many films are coming out in this style, and it seems like a more efficient way to pump out a movie."
Yeah, it's definitely more efficient to have your entire staff learn an entirely new software for sure.
Yeah.
Great grandma is voiced by Deborah Wilson, and she voices Crying Wolf in Metal Gear Solid 4.
It all connects.
Oh, God.
It all comes back to Metal Gear Solid
It
in
really
the end.
does. What else is she in? Good God, she's in so many things. She's in Bug Snacks.
One more thing I forgot to mention about the voices is, Tease, you were talking about the songs too, and you were like, "Oh, I really want to know who sings this." Well, the credits theme was sung by both Paige O'Hara and Peebo Bryson, who sang the title theme of Beauty and the Beast with Celine Dion.
What happened here?
So that's your
What
answer.
information does Colin Slater have on these people?
It's not okay. So going back to Scientology.
Can we talk about Dinotopia instead? You guys remember Dinotopia?
No, get off the internet.
Oh my
She's
God.
recording an episode.
Oh my God. Okay. Yeah, so we all know that Nancy Cartwright is a Scientologist, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so was Colin Slater.
Shocking.
And there's a theory that was kind of going around that he and Nancy Cartwright had actually met through the Church of Scientology.
Most likely.
That's how he was able to form all these like really high profile connections to get them to work on the movie with him.
That sounds right.
Yeah, because otherwise, like, they clearly did not have the budget to hire these people.
Yeah.
I wonder if it was like a church donation thing, like.
Yeah, there are
for
theories
donating
about
this much
that.
to the church, blah 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 type deal. Well, if we weren't on Scientology's watch list before, we're on it now. Like, oh God, this was rough. Jalla, what is the appeal to this movie to you? Is it just that it's bad? Is that tell me.
It's the fact that it's so horrible but also so fascinating at the same time.
Okay,
Because it looks like that, but they have such an incredible cast for the voices at least.
Yeah.
And there's so many like theories and things you can speculate about how this film was made, how it got to be so bad, how it even ended up on TV in the first place. There's just so much about it that's so fascinating.
Yeah, did anybody from the animation staff come forward? Because the fact that it was only animated by 5 people really struck me. Like,
yeah. So there was an interview I found with one of the guys who ended up working on the animation as well. Going through the article, this guy was like, he was talking about how they wanted to capitalize on making a 3D film and its popularity at the time. And
that was like peak right after, once again, I'm talking about Shrek. That was like right after Shrek.
Yeah,
that was post Toy Story. Yeah.
But I'm imagining too, right, that like 3D software can be pretty. There's a pretty steep learning curve if you're trying to make a film, and that's nowadays. And I cannot even imagine how difficult it must have been back then, which is why I think we see like so many repeated textures being like they all have the same texture, or rather like butt map of some sort applied to their clothing. Most of their, you know, actual physical forms aren't all one organic shape that actually has like skin painting and weights to it and things like that. It's like disjointed doll pieces that are all just kind of shoved together. And like, I cannot imagine the horror of that.
And on top of that too, they only had, I believe it was 4 months to put the whole film together.
What?
Yeah.
Senior year thesis rush.
Yeah. So on top of all of that, like having to learn a new program, having an entire cast of people or like staff of people that were completely unfamiliar with this new 3D program. They had to pump it out in 4 months. So
it explains too why like all of the animations are happening on top of not even 3D rendered backgrounds, but just like still flat things that are painted. And like
So,
nothing is in environment, which is like very evidentiary based on just like the way they walk. Their feet go into what should be the floor but isn't.
Yeah, and part of that too is that initially the producer envisioned the film to be done in sort of a 2D hand-drawn style, but he was later convinced to have it made in this new program called 3D choreography, so they could
I wonder if
again
that's also
speed it up.
Scientology sponsored.
Everyone in the studio was unfamiliar with this new program too, and so there was also an issue where they could not model anything inside the program itself and had to have everything outsourced too.
No.
And because of that also, they were having issues creating props and backgrounds, and that's, again, why they had to use 2D images for a lot of it, too.
Oh my god, the
Gamers!
Oh no, what'd you discover?
I looked up 3D choreographer.
Yeah.
And the demo screen is quite literally a morphing face that is very similar to what we saw in the movie. Which leads me to believe that they were using, like, pre-made models. It was designed as an animation program for non-artists.
Yeah.
It is perhaps the most notable for being the software used to animate the infamous Rapsittie Street Kids. It was sold as a tool for anyone of any skill level to easily create 3D animations. Users could pick from a library of actors, humans, animals, dinosaurs, objects, and more, with an extensive library of actions and expressions. Users could customize these characters either in appearance, size, and shape, attach a picture of a face on top of actors, or manipulate their limbs to create custom poses. Oh my god.
Yep.
No!
Yeah.
No! It was created in 1999 by Jeffrey Friedman.
God.
Scientologist?
I don't know.
Time to find out. While is looking that up, Tease, when we were watching the credits, or was it Cass that pointed it out? Somebody pointed out that the snowman winked during the credits.
That was Cass, yeah.
So that was actually like a little gag that the animators put in. Because it winks like right when the credits appear, when it says Colin Slater directed the film. And
it winked for somebody else too, I noticed.
Yeah. In this article too, with the interview of the guy who worked on the film, he was like, "Oh, Colin Slater was an awful director, and he never did any directing. So all he would do was come in and occasionally walk around and be like, 'Good job, everybody, keep working,' and then he would leave." So they made the snowman in the background wink when the credits rolled.
Oh, I love that though.
That's pretty salty. I do appreciate that. So was there like do you know if there was like any animosity from the team towards like the higher ups in this situation? Because this is so baffling to me. I could only imagine that the animators and the artists involved in this were not proud of the work that they did in this. Has there been anything on the record about that?
I don't know for sure if there was any between Colin Slater and the animation crew themselves, but one of the other producers or production companies that they worked with was J. Rose Productions, who worked with Wolf Tracer Studios, which was Colin Slater's company. And they worked together to create Rapsittie Street Kids. And J. Rose Productions was in charge of the story, hiring voice talent, music, and all that stuff. and Wolf Tracer Studios would be in charge of the animation. But I guess Colin Slater got all these.
Hey, just want to point out the animation demo that they're showing has the iconic Ricky run cycle that all the other characters use, which means it seems like so many of these things were just we are going to take these things we already have and use. I mean, you have to. If you only have 4 months to put together a 45-minute animation,
there's no way.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way.
There's no way. I would. No, thank you.
There was also an old Twitter post made by a user named Kennedy Rose, and according to them, J. Rose Productions was actually founded by their dad and a friend of his. And it apparently cost them about $500,000 to make this film. What? But while they were making it, Kennedy's father never actually checked in on Wolf Tracer Studios to see how the production was going. So the only time he actually saw it was when it aired on TV.
No!
And he saw that fucking monstrosity.
That's on him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I noticed that in the commercial, in the episode, there's a little preview for an Easter themed episode show.
Yeah.
We're all grieving peace.
I'm sad. Happening. I'm so sad. I want an Easter sequel, but we're never gonna get that.
I understand.
They hint at it in the credits, but nothing ever came out of it, as far as I know. It's
that's
just
the one place we got that illustrated artwork of everyone too.
Yeah, that one.
Is this what it was supposed to look like?
Yeah, that's what it was supposed to look like. But we didn't get that. We didn't get that at all.
I just want to know if Jenna's bonk ass horse made it. That thing did not look survivable.
The episode was gonna be about Jenna, so that makes sense. I hope it is about the horse.
Jenna and her horse who returns from the dead.
Yeah.
Maybe her horse is the Easter bunny.
Maybe. I mean,
maybe.
Believe in Santa. Dreams can come true. Anything can happen.
God.
My favorite character is Grandma, because you can't understand a word she's saying. Tease, who is your favorite character?
I think it's Smithy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You love a comedic relief character.
I do. He hits all the boxes.
Jalla, who's your favorite?
I'm also gonna have to go with Grandma. She's just too iconic.
Yeah.
Love
She's
her.
got that wisdom.
Love her. She really knows what to say.
Isn't she? Is she great grandma?
No, she's Grandma.
She's Grandma.
Because according to Wikipedia, when I was looking up,
she was listed as great grandma.
I think so. Yeah.
Speaking of Grandma,
yeah, tell me about Grandma.
Deborah Wilson was the voice of Grandma, and while I found an interview with her later on, and she went and talked about her role as Grandma in Rapsittie Street Kids.
Yeah. Does she know what grip she has?
She mentioned barely even remembering the film at all. God. And people are speculating that the audio files of the lines she was supposed to have lines at one point, by the way.
But she was supposed to have actual discernible.
But we don't know what happened. We don't know what happened. People are speculating that her audio files got corrupted somehow.
Interesting.
They had 3 tracks that were fine of her going Christmas.
Yeah.
And we're scramble them up, Jay. Just scramble them.
No, but that's what people speculated. But in the interview with her, she recalls that she was actually asked to make that voice. And the reasoning for that was they were like, oh, great grandma is disheveled. She can't get her words together.
But
and she said she had that. That was her script. That wasn't corrupted audio. That was actually her speaking. That was her voice.
Oh. That makes it even better in my heart. That it was purposeful. That she came in and they're like, you've got a wonderful skill there. Can you just go hip 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 Christmas?
Oh,
Grandma.
The talent jumped out.
The talent really did jump out. Jalla, thank you so much for sharing this terrible, terrible plight with us.
Of course.
Maybe we can just make it a tradition to come back and rewatch it every single year, much
I
like
mean-
Until Death Do Us Blart.
No.
I mean, that's what I do. I do that every year regardless. I've literally watched this film every year for the holidays since I discovered it.
Fuck you guys
Well,
are
I'll
watching
watch
all
it
of the
with
other
Jalla.
reindeer. At least that was good.
I'll watch it with Jalla every year, and Tease can just sit in the background and suffer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll just hear Tease in the distance screaming every time Grandma comes on screen.
She's the one who saves it, honestly.
She really is. Her and that little horse, the reindeer. She's a good reindeer. I picked her out myself.
That looks like my cat May May.
There you go.
I need like a side by side. That's just my cat.
We gotta post side by side photos.
Thank you so much for joining us, Jalla. If people want to find you on social media, where can they get you at?
Don't. It's not worth it.
Alright, well, this has been Author's Note. Thank you so much for listening. You can find information about supporting the podcast on our website, that's authorsnotepod.com. We've got a coffee. We've got a Patreon. The Patreon you can get cool, fun stuff on. You can go there now to get a commentary track of the movie for free if you want to feel like you're watching it with us. But otherwise, just leaving an iTunes review is super duper helpful for us. Or I guess an Apple Podcast review. iTunes is no more. iTunes has been dead for so long.
Mm-hmm.
My name is Cass, and you can find me pretty much everywhere on the internet.
No.
Valhalla.
My name is Cass.
That's V-A-L-H... That's V-A-L...
My name is Cass.
H-E-T-H-E-L-L-A. Tease, if you want to find you, where can they find you?
I don't know. Jalla, where can they find me?
I don't know. I'm Cass.
They,
We're all Cass.
My name's Cass.
my
name's
name's
Cass.
And
Cass.
this is Author's Note. Hi,
That's
welcome
all I
to
say.
Author's Note. My name's Cass.
And I'm also Cass.
Don't listen.
Don't cast.
And that's
Cass is
Cass. See you next time.
Cass!
And my name's
Cass,
Eskel.
you think you got out of it this time? Now you gotta answer the question. What's a Cass you think that should be a Cass, but doesn't have a Cass?
Well, I think my answer has to be Cass. Bye!
And that's Author's Note.
That's it. That's the end of the episode.
Okay, great.